Have the script out. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. To
just have to wait for you.
Researchers are running studies that can help you sell your products better, but you don't have time to read hundreds of scientific peer-reviewed papers, and that's why we created Selling with Science, the weekly 20-minute science top-up that will put you ahead. I am Nikki Elbaz, and this is...
Hey, I'm Sophia Daglan, and today we're going to talk about depleting willpower, and we're going to talk about it in terms of emails but also marketing in general, because I had an experience today that I kind of want to share. I think it ties in. Yeah, it was fun.
Uh-oh.
So, let's cover the topic a little. So, according to researchers, our willpower, which is one of the biggest drivers behind any decisions we make, is a finite resource. That's why the closer it gets to the evening, the harder it is to refuse chocolate cake. Though for me, that's pretty much any time. So I don't know what that says. But yeah, so how can we help our customers make the right decisions if their willpower is running out? And how does that affect our marketing? So now, Nikki, I'm sorry. Do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So you could kind of think of willpower as a cup. And basically, anytime you make a decision, you are taking a sip out of that cup. And throughout your day, you are depleting your cup lower and lower and lower until you're done. And then it's like you could be given the most tantalizing, amazing offer with an incredible price tag and bonuses thrown in and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, no, I'm not making a decision. I'm depleted. I'm gone. So it's just an interesting way of looking at the way we approach decision making and the way we, give our customers decision. Where are we coming to them? At what stage in their depletion journey are they? So this is actually reminding me of Talia Wolf, who is an optimization wizard. She has this case study of a skydiving website, and she was trying to optimize the website, and they were doing all these best practices and stuff, changing button colors and all this stuff. And she was looking at their call. Was she looking at their call log? I think. Do you remember, Sophia? Anyway, I think she was looking at their call log, and she noticed that people were calling in at 7 or 8 o'clock. No. Okay. She was looking at their activity times on the website, and everyone was coming in at 7, 8 o'clock p.m. to their website. And she was like, okay, hello, people. What we need to do is, this is peak activity time, is have support available at 7, 8 o'clock and have a big button at the front saying, hi, call us anytime, call us at evening hours. And they saw a crazy conversion lift because of that. So this kind of goes against the whole evening thing in terms of willpower, but it really fits into where are you in your customer's life, being aware of where you are in their decision-making process. Does that make sense?
That's interesting. I was actually just thinking about what you're saying, and because our willpower is depleting, wouldn't we be more likely to buy in the evening? When you're kind of more spontaneously, because that's when you not given to temptation, but that's when you're more likely to make impulsive decisions based on I want this versus on the logical reasons why you may or may not need it. So I wonder if that's the case, but that also brings us to, are you more likely to cancel annoying services in the evening too? Which would eventually lead me to my story of canceling annoying services.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. But I'm wondering if there's two different types of people, the people that defer decisions when they're depleted, or the people that just yeah, sure, I'll take it. Ooh. I wonder. This is totally not research-based in any way, shape, or form, but I know that I am totally a decision deferrer more than an impulsive buyer. So could be interesting.
Okay, so you're saying that
research.
Yeah, so if I was to I was a marketer and I was sending you an email of an awesome offer for you in the evening, you will put that off because you're tired?
Oh, totally. I'll just be yeah, I have to think about this, and I'm too tired to think about it, and I have to talk about it with a million people, and I just I can't. I don't care if you're throwing urgency at me. It's
Yeah. That's so interesting. So it really shows you have to find out how your people make decisions. And the best way to do that is by customer service and interviews. And I'm throwing interviews here because Nikki did a fantastic workshop on interviews recently. So, I feel I have to mention
it. Thank you. So tell us about your canceling annoying services story.
Yeah, so this morning I realized that I was still paying for my Wall Street Journal subscription. And I was like, okay, so it's been 2 months, haven't really had time to read it. It's like, I don't really feel like paying $40 a month for something I'm not reading. So I logged into my account to find a way to cancel, as you do. Now, you have to call their service, like their customer service support, before you can cancel. So I phoned them, and I'm on hold for like 6 minutes with like music in the background. And then eventually I get this customer support person who keeps trying to upsell the cancellation, but you can clearly say that the poor thing is just reading from a script. Like, I don't think they're paying their customer support enough money for them to actually care about the service. So it's just, no matter what objections you give, like my reason was just like, look, like I don't have time to read it. But would you have time if we give you all these extras? It's like, no, my problem isn't that like you guys aren't good, it's that I don't have time. But what if we like took a month off your subscription? That does not create more time for me. So it's just, they made it so impossibly difficult to cancel the service that they're almost relying on you kind of going like, you having your willpower depleted and going, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. And this is the reason why I didn't cancel 2 months ago, because I did not want to deal with this. But I thought that's a very, I don't want to call it old school approach almost, but I think it is approach to marketing, where you're trying to keep your customers by basically being so difficult to reach that they keep giving you money instead of making them feel good about themselves. Because now I'm actually unlikely to renew my subscription, just because that kind of treatment's like, do you guys believe so little in your product? You feel you have to tie me into subscription. I have to phone to cancel, like today's day and age, and then sit on the phone for like 10 minutes. Like, you think that little of your writing and your journalists? And I mean, they have good stuff.
That's very interesting, because I actually had a similar thought in terms of like the old school support. Because yesterday I called up this like very traditional kind of company for support. And yeah, again, they had like horrible customer service. She was reading off scripts. She was totally not helpful. And yeah, she just like totally didn't address my problem. And I was just comparing it to a lot of different SaaS companies that I chat them with support, like right there and then. I don't have to wait on holds. They get me, they'll refund my money, even though I was like negligent and didn't realize it was supposed to cancel a week or two before. And they'll be like, yeah, sure, we'll refund you, no problem. So I was just really comparing the two, like the old school support of like, we're not really here to help you, and the new kind of wave of support of like, yes, sure, we love you, do whatever you want, we know you'll come back to because we're awesome. And many of the ones that I'm canceling are just because like, yeah, like your thing of like, I don't have time right now. It's just not a good fit right now, but I'm so impressed with their support that I know that I'm going to come back to them, like for sure. So it's just interesting. I'm not sure how this ties into willpower right now. I feel like we went on a bit of a tangent with support, but yeah, another just tangential thought is just go through your chat logs, because you will find out so much amazing information there. Like Sophia's objection of time. A better script for time would be like, well, how about if we give you the app version, because then you could do it while you are, on the subway going to work, reading, you have the time then. So just, yeah, matching the customer where they are would be cool.
Yeah, I think the willpower tie-in is that it's two different approaches to your customers, like people's depleting willpower. One basically says they're tired, they're unlikely to want to spend 20 minutes on the phone with me, as I refuse to cancel the subscription, even though they've said 10 times that like, no, look, I don't have the time for this right now. Or making it as easy as possible, and basically kind of tapping into understanding the fact that they're tired and trying to help your customer do things easily, which is where you tie into that user experience side of it. And I think companies that approach the making it as easy as possible because they understand you have a million things going on far more likely to get loyalty and recommendations, because I'm now like, I don't negatively review brands in general. It's just not me. So I'm unlikely to say anything negative about the Wall Street Journal. But I wouldn't recommend them, and I wouldn't sign up for them again, because the same thing happened to me with The Economist like 4 years ago. I used to buy them when I was still on minimum wage. So I was somebody who bought that. Like, I loved the magazine. And then I had to cancel for it because I was moving countries. And again, they tried to they made me phone, and they made me sit there and listen to scripts. And I haven't resubscribed because it just, like, why would I give you money if you treat your customers so badly? But with SaaS, they make it so easy. And they pay their support teams well, because they realize how important it is to have people who feel valued. Because, I mean, my customer support service could have probably been great if she had a decent wage and like decent scripts.
Yeah, that's interesting. Another thought that kind of goes back to the whole evening thing. This is just another theory. I wonder if that whole like time, what's it called? We were just talking about this recently. How different people have different like peak times.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not chronology. It's
something
with
with chrono. Something time related. We'll have to look it up for you and tell you next time. So different people have peak energy times at different times of the day. Well, you know, you've heard of this in terms of like night owl and day owl, but he breaks it down a little more scientifically. And I wonder if people's willpower cups get filled at different points of the day, because there are some people that are just like, it would make sense that it correlates in terms of your energy level versus like how much time you've been awake making decisions. So that might be interesting also, like knowing when your customer has energy and when they don't. And that probably ties into the type of customer you're targeting. I just heard something interesting from Sarah Greer. She is also a conversion copywriter, and she was categorizing people by color type. And she was saying like different types of products attract different types of colors. And, you know, like red is like a high energy. They have lots of ideas. Green is like, they're like finishers, you know, they get things done. Yellow just wants to have fun. Like, obviously these are very black and white kind of things. And she really said that everyone has all the colors within them. It's just what the primary color is. But how different products attract different types of colors was just an interesting view. And she was even saying how you should break down, when you're writing a sales page, you should break down different parts for different color types. So like the green people will read everything. The red people just want to find that buy button. They want to just buy. So yeah, knowing what your customers are like, when their peak energy times are, when they, you know, will they be more of a decision deference type people, or will they be someone that, you know, just says yes impulsively when they're depleted? This is all really interesting stuff to dig into.
I wonder if that ties with stages of awareness, though, because I think, or whether specific products attract that specific like version of you. Because I think we all we are different when we interact with different products and different people and different things, depending on how they make you feel and what you need them to do and what role you're looking for them to fulfill. So I'm wondering if you can kind of figure out what part of somebody's like personality and drives and emotions your product ties into, and then build that from there.
That's very interesting. Whereas like if they're coming from like a really nurturing, heavy email sequence, maybe they're feeling very yellow. They're feeling very fun and connected and bonded with you because you just gave them all this nurturing. This is very interesting stuff. It's never simple. It's so frustrating.
Well, I think that's what makes this such a fun job and such a fun field, is that you're really trying to figure out like how people think and feel and act, and how you can help them. But I think with the willpower thing, I definitely fall into the camp of making it like as easy as possible for your customers to do things. And then you kind of like, at least with me, the easier you make something for me, like the longer it'll stick with you. Even if I'm not using like ConvertKit, I haven't really been using them as much, and yet I still pay them monthly because they make it really easy to cancel and come back, and they send me nice emails, and I like the tool. So I'm like, I like you guys, I will stick with you. But other services that make it difficult, man.
Yeah. And I was actually just reading this in an email teardown by Bill Geisler, where she was saying when a subscriber signs up for your free trial, in that first email, you should give them details of when you're going to bill them. If it was a free trial with a credit card sign up, like tell them when you're going to bill them. Make it transparent, because they want that information and they're going to trust you better, and that's going to do more for you long term in terms of your customer loyalty and your nurturing and all this kind of stuff. Like this old school, like hide everything, don't tell them we're going to like sign. They know that you're going to bill them and they're going to put that calendar date in, but make it easy for them. It's just like a very big shift from the way we used to do things, and it's pretty exciting.
I'm actually still a fan of the don't put your credit card in. Like, I haven't tested this, so I think every company needs to test to make sure which one works for them. But personally, I prefer the companies that just let you sign up, see the trial, and then ask you for money afterwards if you're happy with the trial. Because otherwise, again, it feels like they're just trying to hold on to you a bit too tightly. Mm-hmm. It's like, look, I will probably forget to cancel this trial, and then I will get charged and I won't be using the tool, which will make me feel annoyed. Like, not at you, but just like at myself for not remembering. But if you, like, no matter how many email reminders you send me, like, that doesn't matter. Like, who opens those emails? Probably people. Find out who opens those emails for you.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. And it's also like, there are many times when I am fine giving my credit card, but it's like, oh, I have to go get my credit card. And I know that Safari and Chrome and all these things let you save your credit card, but I don't trust them.
I'm the exact same.
Like, I'm not going to, but just make it easy for me. And I mean, it also ties into, when you don't give a credit card sign up, when you do a free sign up without credit card, then your email onboarding holds more weight, and then you can put more investment into it. And then you're just nurturing more customer loyalty, instead of just kind of like, oh yeah, we have to do email onboarding because that's what you have to do. You can actually onboard them very strategically and thoughtfully, because you really need to keep them because you don't have their credit card. So that could be something really cool to leverage.
I think it really comes back to that thought that I want to say it was not introduced by Ogilvy, but I think Ogilvy voiced it, and I'm going to butcher the attempt to quote him here. It was basically, don't treat your customers like they're idiots. Treat them like actual people with smarts, and people you would hang out with and people you admire. Because when you treat somebody like an actual human, you're unlikely to like tie them into paying you money forever and ever and ever, and do all these kind of, I don't want to keep using old school, but basically old school marketing things where you're trying to basically make it so difficult for them to leave you that they will buy your product. But like, treat them nice, make it easy, make them want your product. I mean, that's what makes a good customer. And I think that's what makes growth easier.
I think a big part of it is really just trusting that there are people out there that want your solution, that will pay for your solution, that will tell other people about your solution. And I was just seeing this, I just saw this clip about content and like what you should give away free and what you should pay. And, the what's come out is that you should be giving away everything. And the paid version is just the nicely packaged, beautiful, like in a nice little shiny red bow. And this is really just, it's so hard to wrap your head around, but it's really the way things are shifting. And I totally lost my train of thought. What did this have to do with onboarding? I don't remember. But by the way, Ogilvy said you should treat your customers like your wife, which is pretty cool, right? Like, it's not just like a human being. It's like your wife. She's smart. You like her. You want to keep her with you. So yeah, it's just an interesting time.
Yeah, you know what? I think if you treat your customers like a really good partner, then you can't lose, because you listen to them and you change things, and and you make extra effort.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Basically, if you trust that there are people that want your solution and want to buy, then it's okay if you give everything away for free, because there will be the people that want to buy what you have because it's packaged all premium and nicely. And I know we're coming up on time, so let's wrap up. But I did also want to say that we are not meeting next week, so we will see you in 2 weeks on the
Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes. Oh, we've got a fun one for Valentine's Day. What do we have for Valentine's Day?
Well, they'll have to come back and find out.
Something about customer love.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us. And basically, I think to wrap up, willpower depletes. So try to make things as easy for your customers as possible. And don't make them phone you and spend 20 minutes on the phone with you. I'm exaggerating now. It was just 10 minutes.
But 10 minutes is a long time in our busy days. And that also means that in like onboarding sequences, like make really easy steps, like one email, one step. Don't give them like, oh, here's your to-do list once you joined our software. Just make everything really easy.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today, and bye.
Thank you. Thank you.